Welcome.
Yeah, spoilers.
Welcome back.
Halloween wasn't on a Saturday this year, everyone.
It was on a Monday. We got done watching Final Destination 2. And
This is a Give Me the Keyboard presents special spectacular
Final Destination franchise. Mm-hmm. I'm Bingo Gas Station.
I'm your host, Dutch Christmas.
And I'm your supreme host, Bingo Gas Station.
But I'm the only one that matters.
I'm
Dutch
the
Christmas.
best host, Bingo Gas Station. The final host, if you will. So, we watched Final Destination 2, the sequel to the first one. It's the first time I've ever seen it. Dutch says he saw it before.
Yeah, I've seen it.
What are our initial thoughts?
It's not nearly as good as the first one. Like you had said, it was campy. I mean, it was entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
I said that if it was on TV, I would watch it. But it's nothing that I would recommend.
It had some truly memorable scenes, I think. I think I'll remember it later on.
Yeah, it was still fun.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So the first one was trying to set it up like it was a story. This one just gets right into it.
Yeah, both movies move fairly quickly, like they have some sort of purpose. They're moving very swiftly towards their final destination. I read just recently that I guess the first one was intended as initially as an X-Files episode, and that was, I guess, the derivation of the whole premise and whatnot. And this one takes it and tries to expand on it a little bit, and it's kind of goofy. I guess Tony Todd, which I forgot to mention even when we recorded that thing about the first movie. Tony Todd gives him some bullshit about life needing to be had to cancel Death's plan or something.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
That was dumb. What I liked about the movie, though, is or at least the new things that they introduced in the movie was the idea that because of the initial survivors surviving Flight 180, yeah, as some of you might call
180?
it. Yeah. Because of that, they ended up splintering Death's design and causing this ripple effect, which I thought was a clever idea. Mm-hmm. Particularly if you ascribe to some sort of deterministic philosophy on things needing to follow a certain pattern and the probability of it being a certainty after the fact, because there's only one way things could go. If you had all the variables in place, the idea that, if it splinters, that's what would happen.
Yeah, the survivors of the crash that should have died
prevented
other people from dying that should have died.
Yeah.
So then Death came up with a plan that he would make all of those...
Tie up loose ends.
Yeah, tie up loose ends. That they would all come together and die in one big, record-breaking traffic accident, as the news team had reported it. 18 people died. Record.
That's probably not...
Maybe they meant for the city.
Or the state, maybe?
I don't know.
It's filmed in British Columbia. They never mention where it is. But they give you the impression that it's in the same areas.
Oh my god. I should know where it is then.
Well,
it has to be near the first movie.
I thought the first one was L.A. I thought they were L.A. kids. I just assumed it was Hollywood.
No. That's what it was. It was New York, remember? They were going to go check out the Yanks.
Oh.
When all this blows over.
Oh, okay.
So I think
rural New York.
It was some suburb, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them should add a New York accent.
Yeah, all of them should have, really. So Eugene in this film is the black dude. Mm-hmm. He is T.C. Carter, and he does the voice to Kratos from God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You defy the God of War?
I have a lot of rage. It's really not good. I'm trying to work with it, but I can't do like Kratos does. I can't go out and just maim and mutilate people. I have to go and meditate.
I thought that was interesting. And I've talked with Dutch in the past. I'm a big fan of Tony Todd. I got to meet him once. He's an awesome guy. I love his work. He's a classy motherfucker. He's so cool. Sorry.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, he's one of my favorite actors. And I've met a lot of celebrities, and to varying degrees of celebrity-ness or famousness. He stands out just because he's so cool. So goddamn cool.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. But they use him in a really ridiculous way in this, and that's fine because he hams it up.
Yeah, he really did ham it up. Like, he just gave that stupid smile at the very end. Like, his very last shot is just him with a stupid grin on his face.
Matt. Yeah, he's trolling. Mr. Bloodsworth, yeah, the mortician.
Yeah, I still feel like he was making it up. Like, the first one, he was being all creepy, and then this one, he's like, these fucking kids again? I'm just gonna give them some stupid story about new life will cheat death or whatever. So I'm hoping that the new characters that survived, they die at the beginning of the third one. That's what I'm hoping. Because it made no sense. Like, if you're gonna intervene and save someone and then it skips over them and then eventually comes back to them, then what's the difference?
But you can cancel it, but you're not sure if you canceled it because there are other people who are also loose ends, and what the fuck ever. There is no real rhyme or reason to it. And that's, I guess, what I anticipated being problematic about it from the standpoint of sequels is there's no hard, fast rule about it, and you can tell that they're kind of just grasping at things, and I don't know.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, that there needs to be like a continuation of the story.
Yeah, and the characters need to be working towards something throughout most of the story, otherwise they would all do the sensible thing and just hold up in an insane asylum for a year under close guard.
But that's how I thought that they were doing the first one well, because even though some of them knew that they were going to die, they wanted to live it up. You know?
Which one?
Like even
like
Anton
the kid that parked his car on the...
Oh, I'm going to be locked up in this shack. I know he came out because he was worried that Claire was next.
Because he realized he wasn't next, yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, come on. After a while, you got to realize that's not the way you want to live.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
I bet she came out because she was bored.
Possibly.
She didn't feel any responsibility. That was stupid. The main character was completely selfish. She was just looking out for herself. She just kept trying to guilt trip everyone.
She does that a couple times. And
the lady's like, I saw, my husband died 4 years ago. I saw my son die today. I welcome death. And she's like, no. Don't say that. Like, come on. Don't say that. Like, you should live.
Okay, so the reason why she needs to do that is because otherwise there's no reason to include them in the story. I mean... Ultimately, you need to keep them together to a certain extent. You can't just have them wander off the narrative.
No, because even in the movie, you still follow the chick anyway.
Yeah.
Eugene didn't want any part of it, and you still followed them in the movie, and she still died. So there was no reason for her to say, like, no, don't say that. And she was like, it's your responsibility to clear in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not a responsibility.
You march into an insane asylum, and then you give an ultimatum to somebody who's been... in a solitary confinement for a year.
Yeah, and has never met you in their life.
And they believe they are going to die if they leave the room. And you accuse them of being a coward. It's like, what? What are you doing?
I can't resist. The ending credits song. My name... I don't even know...
My name is Death.
Yeah, is that what it said?
My name is Death.
My name is Death. But I just want to say, my name is Bill. You can just put anything in there. Any name that's just one syllable. Bam.
My name is Dutch.
See? There you go.
Yeah, bingo has 2 syllables.
Yeah, so it doesn't work out. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you'll all be pleased to know that they did put that trope in there that you gotta see tits. They put tits in the movie for no reason. And
like in the opening credits.
Yeah. In like the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie. And I was like, there you go. Good job, movie. You did it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything spectacular. I mean, the car accident at the beginning is the money shot of the film, and something that hinges the entire story.
And that truck driver just keeps driving, like in both scenarios, both realities. He just continues to drive. I mean, there's flames all around him. You don't hear brakes. He just keeps going. Like, they're in the SUV in the beginning.
He's
toppled over.
He's a jump scare.
And then the truck just comes out of the flames just to bulldoze them over.
Yeah,
like,
he's a jump scare. That's what he's for.
No, I understand in the movie, but I mean, as the character
is
I
inebriated.
didn't understand what is going on. It wasn't even the guy drinking.
No,
The guy drinking was in like a white truck.
Whatever.
This one was a blue truck.
Doesn't matter.
Does matter because it was dumb.
So, I don't know. I enjoyed the film. It was entertaining.
I think that I still want to say that just because it's like a domino effect, I think my favorite death was the first one. And I did say...
Oh, was that was your lotto winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I did say I think he's going to live because they didn't give any background to anybody. And then they give this guy some background story. They're like, hey, a lotto winner, and then he's getting phone calls. I was like, oh, they're probably playing it up. Like, he's going to be in danger, but he'll get out of it, and then he'll die later. But no, they did it all in, like, that one scene. You think he's going to die, then he gets out of it and dies, like, immediately after. As soon as, like, the tension is gone.
So I liked that because there is often, I guess, an urban legend or whatnot that lotto winners are cursed, and to a certain extent they are. If you look at the history of lotto winners, oftentimes those who win the lottery are the people who play the lottery, and oftentimes those people are the least equipped to deal with having a large influx of cash all at once. So their lives tend to have a lot of strife afterwards.
It's like the Madden curse. Am I right, guys?
Yeah. If you're put on the cover of Madden, your dick goes limp and you no longer can run bases. Right? Is that what happens?
I believe they call it whiskey dick.
A whiskey dick, yes.
And then, of course, we forgot. Remember, I was supposed to take notes. You said take note of that.
I forgot.
And it was in the very beginning, and I said, nope, I'm going to forget all about it. But they do, not only the callbacks or the references, I do personally like, because, I know that they do this in the sequels. They try to keep the movies connected in some way.
Yeah.
In this one, they have one of the characters come back, and they play John Denver in
Rocky
elevator.
Mountain High, yeah.
And, it's Highway 180. Oh, it's the 180 mile marker. Sometimes they beat you over the head with it, but I still enjoy that they try to keep them connected.
Yeah.
At least they keep them in sequel fashion.
Yeah.
They're not just totally unrelated.
Yeah, I also want to say that definitely in the first movie, a lot of the characters' last names were taken from horror or suspense actors, directors, and whatnot. And I noticed a couple of them in this one, I think, too, were probably also inspired by them. Less so than the first one, but I like that. It's a nice little homage.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, in the first one, I know that there was Hitchcock comes to mind. One of the characters is Hitchcock. In this one, I think one of them is Corman. So, So, I know that they're in there and they're intentional. But I don't have a list in front of me. So.
Oh, and two of them are from Superman related.
Oh yeah, two of the actors in this
Bam.
Superman, Lois and Clark, and Smallville, right?
Yeah.
Dutch is a big super fan. And
Yeah.
I think Superman sucks.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't know what it is. I really
It's
enjoy
because
Superman.
he sucks.
Yeah, I enjoy him because he sucks.
Ironically, he doesn't die, except when he does, and then he comes back to life. Whatever. Whatever. But I was just mentioning that for Final Destination reference. Because, cheats death, huh? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we were talking about Paranormal Activity earlier, and we mentioned that, it's sort of like a one-trick pony in that it takes that one trope of the jump scare and just recycles it over and over and over again. Like, that is that movie.
That's not what Paranormal Activity is. It's all about, like, the build-up and stupid
but it's jump scares.
crap.
Yeah, I know. It's boring stuff, but it's all about the jump scare. That's the central focus of the film.
See, I didn't know that, because, like, to me, they're just really boring films.
Yeah.
And to me, the only reason why I'm even interested in them is just to see like the superstitious stuff that can happen.
Oh, well.
But then it never pays off. Every time I watch those movies, I'm always deeply disappointed.
Yeah.
And if people just watch it for jump scares, then that's even worse.
Yeah, I think that's that's my.
Because you don't have to build that kind of premise around jump scares. You should have just made a haunted house movie or something.
That is what it is, isn't it?
I thought it was like a possessed movie.
Whatever. I mean, but they show no possessions, really. Not a whole lot. It's more jump scares. And this does a similar thing in that it shows you the lead up to something horrible happening. So rather than the jump scare, there's like this trope of you see the killer in the background walking, and you get the premonition that something bad is going to happen. And I mean, all horror movies do that. I mean, Jaws does that. Every horror movie does that, where they cue up something bad's going to happen. You start to see something in action. Sometimes it actually occurs, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's shocking when it happens, but you know what's happening. So it's not a jump scare in that it just startles you. It's that dread and anticipation of the build-up. And this does a really good job of doing that. And that's almost all it does, is that it gives you the pieces that will equal a horrific end and lets your mind wander as to what's going to occur before it happens.
I do agree with you, but I thought that this one did a poor job of
setting those up?
Setting those visions up. Like when she starts freaking out because of the pigeons.
Oh, you're talking about I'm not talking about visions versus omens. I'm talking about, like, you know, when the gasoline starts running down and you see that. Those setups. Not necessarily, the smart way of how she perceives the premonition, that part, the precognition part.
Okay, good, because I thought some of the premonitions were a little...
Oh, no, they were really, really lame. Yeah. Yeah, they got lazy, and they didn't include them, like, cleverly. She just has a dream sequence.
Yeah, I mean, they were complete hallucinations. I mean, couldn't she have, like, seen some pigeons or something, and then think, like, oh, the pigeons are related? No, instead she sees her reflection and sees a bunch of delusions. She's like, oh, the pigeons that are around me. And then the guy's like, what the fuck are you smoking? And she's like, oh, it must be the pigeons.
And she was right, but dumb. Yeah, she was right, but it didn't convey any sort of. It wasn't clever because she didn't.
But I mean, just do the typical thing where it's like she's like, oh, something must be up, and then she like sees a pigeon or something, and then they do a close up on her face, and she's like, that's weird, something like that. Not
just a
fucking
dream sequence.
Dream sequences all the time.
Also, for a good portion of this film, they're chasing the idea that if they can prevent death from killing this woman's baby, they will forestall or cancel death's design.
Yeah, that's what Tony Todd was saying.
Yeah, but it turns out that she wasn't going to die anyway, and she only remembers that after the baby's born.
That was complete BS.
So that was a big.
Why would she even have a vision of that? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, no, she didn't have a vision of that. She had a vision of somebody in a white van drowning, and that white van drowning was her. But it was not, yeah.
But I mean, was her vision of seeing the pregnant lady getting out of her car, was that like her memory, or was that like a vision? Because if it was a memory, okay, I can kind of understand that.
It's a memory of a vision, though. So, yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's one of those things where kind of a dumb idea that in order for Death's plan to be canceled, somebody has to be born. Just is a dumb rule, I think. And I can understand why. I mean, there's only so much you can do with this idea. I think that if I were given enough time, I could come up with something better, but, I mean, they need to have some sort of remedy to the situation, and they really don't. The first film didn't really set up a good way to try to stop them, and half the fun is the characters trying to come up with an idea. It's just they tend to latch on to one that makes no sense to the rest of the audience. This is like, why would you be safe if you drowned it? If this chick drowns herself, why would you be safe?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it just skip her and kill you, or like, no, it's gonna go kill the kid who was barbecuing.
Yeah, when it was like a baby, I mean, that's just, I don't even know what to say. Like common knowledge, I don't know. Like, when you think of new life, you think of a baby. Like, that's like over the... You know, that's what it is. and then they try to spin it like, no, new life could mean like dying
metaphoric
and
new
then
life.
coming back to life.
Yeah, metaphoric new life.
That's not new life.
It's the same life.
It's the same life. I don't know why they did that.
Well, I guess they wanted a twist, and that was supposed to be the twist. It was that the new life all along was her rather than the chick that was Prego. But I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen should have died.
Well,
the barbecue. No, they even set it up like, whoa, those kebabs are pretty sharp, and he's like, I've done worse or been in worse, whatever he said. And when the kid exploded in the barbecue, which was cool, I still wish that like a skewer or
shrapnel.
Something would have like went through the cop's head. He should have died.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
I would have
loved it.
Yeah, they did do some callbacks, or not callbacks, but sort of hints or stuff to the audience. Like the Lotto Kid has "Hey" on his fridge. The H falls off and it spells "I." He ends up getting a ladder rammed through his eye.
And that's clever. I thought was clever because you caught that and I didn't.
Yeah. Oh.
because they show the H fall. Did they even show that it still said I?
Yeah. E Y.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they didn't. I thought the camera just shows the hey E or whatever.
No, you
the
see
H falls and it follows the H. I didn't know like lingered on I for like a minute.
Yeah.
Or like a second.
Yeah. It's there in the background, and I thought that was a clever idea, and I'm sure there might be other things that were missing, but those little subtle things were kind of clever, and I think that makes up for the fact that some of this is just not quite torture porn or anything, but it's mostly the shock of the gore and the deaths. But I like the story. It's okay. It was almost as successful as the first, not quite. Had a little bit of a bigger budget and a little bit less in the returns, but
it was riding the coattails.
Yeah.
And then we'll check out the third one after we watch the third one.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm excited. I bet it didn't even bring in 50 million.
So Dutch said he hasn't seen all of them.
Well, we'll see. I don't know if that's true or not. I do distinctly remember. I still remember 2 of the accidents. So the third one is it's a mystery to me.
Yeah.
Which one it is? Do you want me to say which one's there?
It doesn't matter. No, don't.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think you wanted me to spoil
Don't tell
the
me
accident in the beginning.
Don't tell me who's next. I don't want to know. I just want to park my car on train tracks. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to remember what the other one is, if I've seen it.
Yeah.
I would bet that I've seen them all, I just can't remember one of them. That's my thinking.
Well,
Because like after watching this, I know the whole rating thing, I want to give it a Jeremy Johns rating. Can I do that?
what the fuck is that?
He's a YouTuber.
What rating system?
Like
does
the
he do?
first, okay, even though it's my guilty pleasure, I know it has some flaws. Like the first one, like he says that the highest thing is to say it's awesome-tacular. Second highest, which is what I'd give the first Final Destination, buy it on Blu-ray. Then the next one is it's a good time, no alcohol required. And then the next one is what I would give this movie.
Alcohol
it's
required.
a good time, alcohol required, yeah.
Makes sense.
And then the ratings are you'll forget it in T minus whatever you want to say, and then the lowest is dog shit. And I wouldn't be surprised. No, none of these movies. I don't think I'll give any of these movies a dog shit rating.
But you're probably not going to give any of them a perfect rating either.
No, oh no way. I mean, if you don't even give the first one the highest rating, there's no way a sequel's gonna be better.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm keeping an open mind.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one of these is just like non-stop awesome action that I'll give it the higher rating. But I mean, it would have to have no story, and it would have to be like non-stop.
See, for me, it would be the opposite. It'd have to be mostly story.
But look at what they did for number 2.
Yeah.
You think they're going to introduce a better story in the third one? That doesn't make sense.
Well, it might give them the opportunity to retcon some of this stuff. Like, oh, the only way to distract from death is to murder somebody else who doesn't matter.
I also thought of that too.
Yeah.
Like, what if someone that survived just went on a killing spree?
Yeah, I think that having some more flexible rules would make it interesting. Or I know that the idea is they're trying to decipher what the rules are, but the characters are dumb.
Yeah.
And I think that ultimately is what inhibits us from fully enjoying the film, because some of them don't act like real people. They act like horror characters.
Well, I mean, that's why you'll notice that the people that die are in high school or just out of high school. So they're not supposed to be that smart.
Yeah, I guess. And I'm not saying that ridiculously bad freak accidents don't happen. I mean, it's in the news fairly frequently. Like, oh, this family of 4 decided to heat their home with a gas generator in their house with all the windows closed. It happens.
I still remember watching a video of it was either Chinese or Japanese or something. And
they have the thing about the fans. Is that what you're gonna say?
no, he was just streaming something online, and then he went to go get his lunch or something, and he starts a small fire in his room. He doesn't notice it right away, and then when he does notice it, he starts freaking out. He runs out of his own room, and then he I guess he doesn't have a bucket or anything. He brings like a cup of water. And he splashes it on there, but it doesn't take out the fire. Mm-hmm. So then it starts to catch the curtain on fire, and then he starts to panic, and then he's throwing cardboard boxes at it. This is real too.
Yeah.
Of course, he lost his room. He lost his apartment because he didn't stop it.
That's not what you do. Yeah. This character had a fire extinguisher too.
Yeah.
In the film.
No, his death was cool.
It was goofy, but whatever.
Wait, which one was your favorite death?
See, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know.
I did like that the kid almost died with this stupid fish thing in his mouth.
Oh, in the dentist chair.
Just saying.
Yeah,
it was
goofy.
Especially the first time I saw it. It was good suspense, good tension. I remember that scene, so this time around I didn't.
Yeah, this is why I don't go to a dentist office that has any sort of fish decorations. Right? Dutch?
Yeah, you're supposed to go to ones with Star Trek
Yeah.
decorations. Which I would.
Yeah. Well, do you want to wrap this up, or is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's good.
Yeah. So join us in a little bit when we tackle Final Destination 3.
Yeah.
Final Destination, or
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what do they usually give the third one? Return of the Final Destination.
Return of the Battle of the Final Destinations.